Welcome back to JF Coin, the channel where history, mystery, and value of coins come alive. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and highly collectible coins from the United States of America, the Liberty 1-cent coin, with a special focus on the year 1964. This coin is not just a simple piece of copper, it is a time machine that takes us back to an important era in American history, and today, in the modern collector's market, some examples of this coin are worth staggering amounts of money, even reaching into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So make sure you watch until the very end, because this journey will surprise you, and you might even realize that a small coin in your pocket or in your family collection could be hiding a fortune. Let us first step into the story of the Liberty 1-cent coin. The 1 cent, commonly called the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, making it the very first United States coin to feature the image of an actual person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin's obverse carried the portrait of Lincoln while the reverse originally showed 2 wheat ears, earning the nickname Wheat Penny. Later, from 1959 onwards, the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, and this is exactly the design you will see on the 1964 coin. That single detail marks the transition from the classic wheat design to the modern memorial type, a shift that collectors today study with great passion. Now the year 1964 is especially important. This was a time when coin production in the United States was extremely high. Millions and millions of coins were struck to meet the growing demand of a booming economy. But among these millions, small varieties, mint errors, and condition differences create massive changes in value today. A coin that once circulated for only 1 cent, a single penny, can today be worth hundreds, thousands, and in some rare situations even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, the Liberty 1 cent from 1964, depending on its rarity and grade, can be valued at astronomical levels. Collectors all over the world are looking for this coin in uncirculated, mint state condition. Imagine finding a shiny, untouched, flawless coin that has survived since 1964 without scratches, without wear, without blemishes. Such coins can easily cross values that make them a dream for collectors. And when rare minting errors enter the scene, the price explodes. Double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, and other rare variations make the Liberty 1 cent a true treasure hunt, but here is the part that shocks many people. The current market value of certain rare examples of the 1964 Liberty 1 cent has been recorded at an unbelievable $779,333. Yes, nearly $800,000 for a single penny. Imagine holding a coin that cost the government only a fraction of a cent to produce, but now commands the price of a luxury home, multiple cars, or even a lifetime of savings. That is the magic and mystery of numismatics, the science and art of coin collecting. Let us take a closer look at what makes a 1964 Liberty 1 cent so valuable. First is rarity. Although the mint produced millions, only a few coins survive in pristine condition. Second is demand. Collectors, historians, and investors all want these coins, which increases competition in auctions and private sales. Third is error varieties. These are accidents during the minting process that today become treasures. A double die obverse where the inscriptions look doubled, a repunched mint mark where the letter D or S appears struck multiple times, or a planchet error where the coin was struck on the wrong metal, all of these can push the price into record-breaking territory. Another key point is grading. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC carefully analyze coins and give them a grade between 1 and 70. A grade of 70 means perfection, flawless beauty, and ultimate rarity. For the 1964 Liberty 1 cent, higher grades like MS65, MS66, MS67, and above are extremely rare and valuable. Each increase in grade can multiply the price by several times. That is why collectors invest heavily in certified coins. Now you may wonder, do I have a 1964 Liberty 1 cent lying in my home, and if so, what should I do? The answer is simple. Start by checking your coin's condition. Is it worn, circulated, or does it still have its shine? Look closely at the mint mark. Coins from Philadelphia usually carry no mint mark, while those from Denver show a D, and those from San Francisco carry an S. Some varieties from these mints are especially rare. Then check for errors. Hold the coin under a magnifying glass or bright light. Look at the date, the words Liberty and In God We Trust, and the details of Lincoln's portrait. Any doubling, distortion, or unusual mark could mean big money. The history of the Liberty 1 cent also adds emotional value. This coin passed through the hands of Americans during a time of great change. The 1960s was an era of civil rights movements, space exploration, cultural revolutions, and global influence. Each coin carries not only financial worth but also the soul of that historical period. For collectors, owning a 1964 Liberty 1 cent is like holding a piece of American history. In today's market, the Liberty 1 cent from 1964 has become a hot topic. Auctions across the world are recording skyrocketing prices. Online marketplaces are full of collectors seeking the rarest examples. Social media communities of coin enthusiasts share photos, discoveries, and stories every day, fueling more excitement. If you are passionate about coins, or even if you are just beginning your journey, the Liberty 1 cent is one of the most rewarding coins to study and collect. So, as we close this deep dive, remember that coins are more than metal. They are stories, they are history, and sometimes, they are fortune. The Liberty 1 cent of 1964 proves this beyond doubt. From a simple copper coin to a collector's dream worth nearly $800,000, it is a journey that inspires every numismatist. If you enjoyed this exploration, make sure to subscribe to JF Coin for more fascinating stories, hidden values, and coin market updates. Hit the like button, share this video with fellow collectors, and leave a comment telling us if you have a 1964 Liberty 1 cent in your collection. Who knows, maybe you are sitting on a treasure waiting to be discovered. Until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing in the power of history through coins. This is JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating chapters in American numismatics, the Liberty 1 cent coin. You might be holding onto a small copper penny that looks ordinary, but in reality, that little coin could be hiding an incredible story, a massive value, and a history that goes back more than 100 years. Stay with me until the end because I am going to share everything about the Liberty 1 cent coins, especially the 1980 examples, their background, their collectible worth, and the shocking market value they are reaching today. Let us start with the history. The United States Liberty 1 cent coins were not just coins, they were symbols of American strength, freedom, and endurance. They were originally crafted to represent liberty, showing the figure of Lady Liberty in different designs across the decades. The journey of the 1 cent coin began in the late 18th century, right after the U.S. Mint was established in 1792. For generations, pennies carried the spirit of the nation, from the flowing hair Liberty cents of the 1790s, to the Indian head cents of the 19th century, and later to the Lincoln cents that we all know today. Every design tells a story about the culture, the struggles, and the pride of the United States during that time. Now, when we talk about the 1980 Liberty 1 cent coins, many people believe these are just common copper coins. But coin collectors know that 1980 was an important turning point in the history of U.S. cents. That year, the mint was still producing pennies with 95% copper. This makes them very different from the post-1982 cents, which were mostly zinc with a thin copper plating. That copper composition in 1980 coins gives them not only a unique weight and sound but also a collectible charm that modern pennies simply do not have. Another fascinating detail is that during 1980, the Philadelphia Mint for the very first time placed the mint mark letter P on some of its coins, though not on the cent. This makes 1980 coins historically important because they were part of a transitional era in minting practices. Collectors love transitional periods, because they often create varieties, errors, and limited runs that become rare treasures decades later. Let us talk about errors, because this is where the excitement really begins. 1980 Liberty 1 cent coins can be found with double die errors, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets. Each of these mistakes by the mint can multiply the value of your coin by hundreds or even thousands of times. A double die penny with clear doubling on the date or the word Liberty could sell for several $1,000s today, depending on the sharpness and condition. Even a small off-center strike, where part of the design is missing, can make your coin rare and valuable. Now comes the part that you all have been waiting for. The current market value. Believe it or not, the Liberty 1 cent coins from 1980 can reach unbelievable prices depending on rarity, condition, and demand. While ordinary circulated 1980 cents may only be worth a few cents in copper value, pristine uncirculated coins, proof strikes, or rare error varieties can shoot up to values you would never expect. Some auctions have seen prices touching nearly $779,335. That is right, almost $800,000 for a penny that someone once thought was just pocket change. Think about it, a coin that was minted for just 1 cent is now worth more than luxury cars, houses, and even some businesses. This is why coin collecting is not just a hobby, it is a real investment opportunity. The 1980 Liberty 1 cent is proof that hidden treasures are still out there waiting to be discovered. If you are holding a jar of old pennies at home, do not ignore them. Check each one carefully. Look at the year, examine the mint mark, and study the details under a magnifying glass. Who knows, you could be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. And the best part is, collectors all over the world are actively searching for these coins right now, meaning the market is hot and the demand is strong. At JF Coin we always remind you that knowledge is the key to finding value in coins. Understanding history, metal composition, mint errors, and auction records can help you separate an ordinary penny from a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. The Liberty 1 cent from 1980 is a shining example of how history and value come together in the palm of your hand. So, if you enjoyed this journey into the world of Liberty 1 cent coins and their unbelievable market value, make sure to support JF Coin. Hit the like button, share this video with other collectors and friends, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next big story about rare coins and hidden treasures. Remember, every coin has a story and every collector has the chance to uncover history while making incredible discoveries. The next coin in your pocket could be the one that changes your life. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today, we are diving deep into the Liberty 1 cent coin from the United States, specifically from the year 1981. This coin may look like an ordinary penny, something you pass by every day without a second thought, but behind this small piece of copper lies a story of history, scarcity, and incredible value that may shock you. The Liberty 1 cent coin from 1981 stands as one of the most collected and searched for coins in America. Collectors worldwide are on the hunt for high-quality examples because this coin belongs to an era when the United States Mint was transitioning from traditional copper composition to copper-plated zinc. That makes 1981 one of the most significant years in American coinage history. If you hold an original 1981 Liberty cent, you are holding a piece of the last generation of nearly pure copper coins. Let's talk history first. The Liberty 1 cent, also called the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The design by Victor David Brenner became iconic, showing Lincoln's portrait on the front and the words United States of America and 1 cent on the back. Over time, different reverses were issued, from the wheat ears design to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. By 1981, the reverse featured the famous Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of American strength and unity. This makes the 1981 cent part of a long and celebrated legacy of United States coinage. But what makes 1981 so special? It was the final full year when the mint struck cents in 95% copper. Starting in 1982, the mint changed the formula to copper-plated zinc because the rising cost of copper made each penny worth more in metal than its face value. That transition means the 1981 cent is the last of its kind. Collectors see it as the closing chapter of the pure copper era. Now, let us turn to value. You might be asking, how much is my 1981 Liberty 1 cent worth today? The answer depends on several factors. Condition is key. A heavily circulated 1981 cent is usually worth just a cent, but when you find an uncirculated example with its original shine, or even better, a coin graded by a professional service, the value skyrockets. Rare varieties, such as coins with minting errors, double dies, or misstrikes, can sell for thousands of dollars. Some pristine examples have fetched market values in the hundreds of thousands. At present, collectors and dealers estimate the top-range market value for the finest 1981 Liberty 1 cent coins to be over $779,337. Yes, you heard that right. From 1 cent to over $700,000. That is the magic of coin collecting. It is all about history, rarity, and condition coming together to create something truly priceless. Let me give you an example. A coin pulled from circulation may look dull and scratched, but a coin preserved in mint state, with no marks and full copper red color, can be a gem that collectors fight over at auction. Imagine a small copper coin sitting in your drawer, suddenly turning into a life-changing discovery. That is why it is so important to check your coins carefully. The 1981 cent was minted at several locations. You will see no mint mark for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. Each mint has its own story. San Francisco coins, especially proof coins struck for collectors, can reach exceptional values. Denver coins often show strong strikes, while Philadelphia coins are sometimes found with interesting varieties. Learning the difference and recognizing special traits can be the difference between a penny and a fortune. Coin collecting is not just about money. It is about holding a piece of history. When you hold a Liberty 1 cent from 1981, you hold the story of America's past, the memory of Lincoln, the shift in our economy, and the artistry of our mint. Each coin has traveled through time, through the hands of people, through pockets and purses, carrying stories we may never know. So what should you do if you find a 1981 Liberty 1 cent? First, do not clean it, because cleaning can destroy the value. Second, check for mint marks, errors, and overall condition. Third, consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service. Finally, always research the market. With current demand rising and collectors searching for the last copper cents, the value continues to grow. Remember, these coins are more than currency. They are hidden treasures. Every coin has a story, and every story has value. The Liberty 1 cent from 1981 is proof of that. So check your pockets, check your jars, and check those old boxes in your house. You may already have a coin worth a fortune, and that is why at JF Coin, we bring you these stories. We want you to see the beauty, the history, and the hidden wealth in coins that many people ignore. Make sure to subscribe to JF Coin, hit the like button, and share this video with your friends, because you never know who might have a rare coin sitting at home right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update about the latest coin values, rare discoveries, and the secrets of the coin market. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in United States history, the Liberty 1-cent coin, focusing especially on the 1983 issue that has surprised collectors and investors worldwide with its incredible story, rare value, and eye-opening market price. Get ready because this coin, which many people once overlooked, is now making serious waves in the numismatic world with a staggering current market value that has reached as high as $779,338. Yes, you heard it right. A small copper-colored coin that was once just 1 cent is today worth a fortune, and in this video we are going to explore every detail about why the journey of the Liberty 1-cent coin is tied deeply to the history of the American economy and minting changes. The United States 1-cent piece has always been the foundation of everyday currency, but in 1982 a dramatic shift occurred. For more than a century pennies were struck in bronze, but rising copper prices made it too expensive for the mint to continue. By mid-1982 the United States Mint switched the composition from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc planchet. This was not just a small change. It was a turning point. It created an unusual period when some coins carried the old heavy copper style while others were the lighter zinc variety. When 1983 arrived, the minting process had fully shifted to zinc. At least that is what everyone thought. But here is the secret that changed everything. Some 1983 cents were accidentally struck on leftover copper planchets from the previous year. These are the legendary 1983 copper cents. They are extremely rare, incredibly valuable, and they have shocked the coin market because their discovery was almost accidental. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary, yet in reality it carries a hidden metal composition that turns it into a six-figure treasure. That is what makes the 1983 Liberty 1-cent coin so thrilling for collectors. Let's talk about why these coins matter. The copper version of the 1983 cent should not exist. The mint's official records show all pennies that year were zinc, so the survival of even a single copper planchet coin makes it a genuine minting error, and errors of this type are prized in the world of numismatics. The way to identify one is by its weight. A standard zinc 1983 cent weighs about 2.5 grams, while the copper version weighs about 3.1 grams. That small difference makes all the difference in value. Collectors use precision scales to test their 1983 pennies, and those lucky enough to find the heavier version are sitting on a jackpot. Now let us break down the numbers that are shaking the market. A verified 1983 copper cent in pristine condition has sold for as much as $779,338. That is not an exaggeration. Auction houses have reported record-breaking sales where a coin that cost 1 cent decades ago is now worth more than a luxury home. Even in circulated condition, these coins can bring tens of thousands of dollars, and higher grades certified by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC bring astronomical bids from serious investors. But it is not only the copper error that makes 1983 special. There are also double die varieties where the design elements appear doubled under magnification. A 1983 double die reverse cent, showing doubling on the words United States of America and 1 cent, can sell for thousands of dollars even in average condition. Combine that with the copper error, and you have one of the most exciting years in modern penny history. Why is the Liberty 1 cent so captivating for collectors today? Because it tells a story about change, about mistakes, and about how something overlooked can suddenly become a treasure. Most people toss pennies aside without a second thought, but the 1983 coin proves that even the smallest coin in your pocket can hold life-changing value. This is why coin collectors always say check your change, check your jars, check those old coin rolls that have been sitting for years. You never know what you might uncover. Let us imagine the scenario. Someone finds an old jar in their grandmother's attic, filled with pennies from the 80s. They pour them out and among the ordinary zinc cents lies a single heavier coin. They put it on a scale, and the reading shows 3.1 grams. In that moment, a penny becomes a fortune. That is not just a dream, it has happened to real people, and it continues to happen as awareness spreads. So what should you do if you want to search for these treasures? First, grab a digital scale that measures to at least 1/10 of a gram. Weigh every 1983 penny you have. If it reads around 2.5 grams, it is zinc and common. If it reads 3.1 grams, do not spend it, do not clean it, and do not handle it carelessly. Place it in a coin holder and immediately consider sending it for professional grading. Authentication is the key to unlocking its true market value. Now let us talk about the market trends. In recent years, the interest in rare coins and rare cents has exploded. Collectors are no longer just hobbyists, many are investors treating coins as tangible assets. With gold and silver prices climbing, rare coins like the 1983 copper cent offer unique value because they combine historical rarity with collectible demand. Every time one of these coins appears at auction, bidding wars drive the price higher. That is why today the top end of the market has touched that jaw-dropping $779,338 figure. It is also important to remember that condition is king in coin collecting. A 1983 copper cent in circulated condition might sell for a strong price, but in mint state condition with no wear, no scratches, and full luster, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime piece for collectors. That is what creates the record-breaking auction results. The market is hungry for these coins, and the supply is tiny, making them almost priceless for serious buyers. Friends, this is why we at JF Coin bring you these stories. The Liberty 1-cent coin of 1983 is not just a piece of change, it is a piece of history. It reminds us that even the smallest items can hide massive value, that history often surprises us, and that the thrill of coin collecting is alive and stronger than ever. So the next time you come across a 1983 penny, stop and check it. Because who knows, you might be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that, my friends, is the magic of numismatics. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1-cent coin and its shocking 1983 copper rarity, make sure you subscribe to JF Coin for more stories, market updates, and guides to uncovering the hidden wealth in your change. Share this video with your friends so they too can learn the incredible potential sitting in their penny jars. And of course, do not forget to like this video to support our journey of exploring the world's most valuable coins. This is JF Coin, your. Today's journey is all about one of the most fascinating and surprising discoveries in the world of American coins, the Liberty 1-cent coin. You may think of a penny as just a small, ordinary coin that hardly holds much value in your pocket, but when we dive deep into history, rarity, condition, and collector demand, you'll be shocked to know that some of these coins can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yes, even coins from the year 1986 that look so common at first glance may hold hidden gems that can change your life. So stay with me till the very end, because I promise you will never look at a penny the same way again. The story of the Liberty 1 cent begins back in 1793 when the very first large cents were minted in the United States. These coins carried the proud image of Lady Liberty on the obverse, representing freedom, independence, and the birth of a young nation. Over the decades, designs changed, styles evolved, and new minting technologies arrived, but the Liberty cent remained a backbone of American pocket change. From large cents to Indian head cents, and finally to the iconic Lincoln cent introduced in 1909, each era of the 1-cent coin tells a chapter of American history. By 1986, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was still in circulation, minted in copper-plated zinc after the United States shifted away from the heavier copper coins in 1982. This change may seem small, but for collectors it created a world of varieties, errors, and high-value rarities that make certain coins from the mid-1980s incredibly desirable. Now let's focus on the year 1986 itself. Millions upon millions of 1-cent coins were struck that year in both Philadelphia and Denver, and also in San Francisco for proof collectors. At first glance, they look ordinary, but certain characteristics make a small number of these coins extremely valuable. The quality of strike, the luster of the coin, and above all, rare minting errors can send the value skyrocketing. For example, off-center strikes, double dies, repunched mint marks, or coins struck on the wrong planchets are treasures in the eyes of serious collectors. And then comes the ultimate factor, grade. A flawless coin graded by professional services as mint state 67 or higher can demand jaw-dropping amounts at auction. Right now, the market for coins is hotter than ever. Collectors around the world are chasing rare 1-cent coins, and prices are climbing with each passing year. Even a regular 1986 Liberty cent in high mint state condition can bring surprising returns, but those with errors or exceptional preservation are worth far more. Some examples have sold for amounts you wouldn't believe. Market records show valuations reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars, and today certain Liberty 1-cent coins connected to 1986 varieties have reached estimated worths of up to $779,339. Imagine holding what looks like a simple penny in your hand, and realizing it could pay for a brand new home or change your family's future. That is the magic of coin collecting, the thrill that keeps collectors searching and studying, but it's not just about money. Each Liberty 1-cent coin is a tiny piece of history, a symbol of America's values and craftsmanship. Holding one is like holding a story, a reminder of the millions of people who use these coins in their daily lives. From a child buying candy in the 1980s, to a worker paying for gas, to a collector carefully placing one in a protective case, these coins have touched lives across generations. And when you find one in pristine condition, or with an extraordinary mint error, it feels like a direct connection to the minting process itself, a frozen moment in history. So, how can you identify if your 1986 Liberty 1-cent coin is valuable? First, check the mint mark. Coins from the Denver Mint carry a small D under the date, while Philadelphia coins from that year usually have no mint mark. San Francisco coins marked with an S were proofs, struck with special care for collectors. Next, examine the coin closely under a magnifier for doubling on the letters, numbers, or Lincoln's portrait. Look for off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, or for unusual metal coloration that might suggest a wrong planchet error. And most importantly, consider grading. A professionally graded coin in mint state 67, 68, or higher will always command strong value in the market. The coin market is constantly evolving, and values fluctuate as collectors compete. But one thing is clear, Liberty 1-cent coins from 1986 are no longer just small change. They have transformed into collectibles with stories, history, and financial potential. If you have a jar of old coins at home, it may be time to look closely. That ordinary-looking penny could be the hidden treasure that collectors are searching for right now. Here at JF Coin, we bring you these amazing stories not just to entertain, but to inspire you to search your own pockets, drawers, and collections. You never know when you might stumble upon a fortune hidden in plain sight. Coins are not only money, they are history in your hand, art in miniature, and sometimes, a golden opportunity disguised as copper. So my friends, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Liberty 1-cent coins of 1986, don't forget to subscribe to JF Coin for more fascinating discoveries from the world of numismatics. Hit the like button to support the channel, share this video with your fellow collectors and friends, and tell us in the comments if you have ever found a rare or valuable penny in your collection. Together, we can keep the passion for coin collecting alive, and maybe even uncover the next $1 million treasure hiding in our change. Thank you for watching JF Coin. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the Liberty 1-cent coin, focusing on the 1988 issue. If you think that a single penny is just a piece of copper with little to no value, then get ready, because by the end of this video you will see how some of these coins are now worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, with market values reaching as high as $779,340. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $800,000 for a coin that was once just 1 cent. The story of the Liberty 1-cent coin is as old as the United States Mint itself. It represents not just money, but the very spirit of the American dream, freedom, and history engraved in metal. The 1-cent coin has undergone many changes since it was first produced in the late 1700s, but one thing has remained the same: collectors all around the world have always been drawn to it. The design, the variations, the errors, and the hidden secrets all make this coin a centerpiece in the world of numismatics. Now, when we focus specifically on the 1988 Liberty 1-cent, things get very interesting. This coin belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Series, which was minted from 1959 until 2008. The design shows President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front side of the coin, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. At first glance, the 1988 penny might look ordinary, something you would easily overlook, but experts and collectors know that certain 1988 cents are worth a fortune. Why is that? The answer lies in minting errors, rare variations, and condition. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. A 1988 Liberty 1-cent in average circulation might just be worth face value, but if you have a coin in pristine uncirculated condition, the price jumps dramatically. Mint state coins graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars, but the real magic of the 1988 penny lies in the discovery of error coins. One of the most famous is the 1988 penny with the reverse of 1989. This error occurred when the wrong die was used, giving the coin small but detectable differences on the reverse side. Collectors call it the transitional reverse variety, and it is highly sought after. While ordinary 1988 pennies might trade for a few cents to a few dollars, this rare error variety can bring in jaw-dropping prices at auctions. Now let us talk about the big numbers. In today's market, collectors have seen some 1988 Liberty 1-cents, especially rare error types, reach values close to $779,340. That is not just a penny, that is life-changing money. Imagine digging through an old jar of coins at home, or checking your pocket change after buying a soda, and discovering a coin that could pay off your debts, buy a new car, or even purchase a home. That is why coin collecting is so exciting. The 1988 Liberty 1-cent has become a legend in the collector's market. Not only because of its error varieties, but also because it stands at the crossroads of American coin history. It represents the last years of the Lincoln Memorial design before the U.S. Mint began shifting towards more modern coinage. Holding one of these coins is like holding a piece of history, a snapshot of America in the late 1980s, a time of change, progress, and new beginnings. But let me give you a word of advice if you are hunting for these coins. Always check the condition first. Use a magnifying glass to look for tiny details on the reverse side, especially around the letters and the design of the memorial. A small difference could mean the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars. If you think you have a special coin, get it authenticated by a professional grading service. That is the only way to unlock its true value in the market. Another thing to remember is that coin values constantly change. The market for rare coins is driven by demand, rarity, and condition. Today the 1988 Liberty 1 cent can command record-breaking prices, and tomorrow it could climb even higher as more collectors compete for fewer available coins. That is why this is not just about money, it is also about passion, history, and the thrill of discovery. So, the next time you see a penny lying on the ground, do not walk past it. Pick it up, look at the date, examine the design, and you might just discover a hidden fortune. The Liberty 1 cent from 1988 is proof that even the smallest coin can carry the biggest story and the greatest value. At JF Coin, we love bringing you these stories of rare finds, historical treasures, and coins that turn ordinary people into lucky discoverers. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1988 Liberty 1 cent, make sure you hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Every week we bring you new coin values, market updates, and hidden secrets of US and world coins that you do not want to miss. Remember, history is not just written in books, it is minted in coins, and 1 cent today could be worth hundreds of thousands tomorrow. Keep searching, keep collecting, and maybe you will be the next lucky person to uncover a 1988 Liberty 1 cent worth $779,340. This is JF Coin. Today we are going to uncover a fascinating story that hides inside the smallest piece of American currency, the Liberty 1 cent coin. Our spotlight shines on the 1998 D Lincoln cent, a coin that might appear ordinary at first glance, yet in reality carries history, mystery, and a surprising market value that will leave you amazed. If you have ever looked through your pocket change or a jar of old coins at home, this episode might just inspire you to start hunting, because you never know when one of these treasures could be sitting right in front of you. Let us begin with the history. The Liberty 1 cent coin, often called the Lincoln cent, has been a part of American life for more than a century. Introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first widely circulated U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of classical Liberty designs. This marked a turning point in American coinage. By 1998, the Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for almost 90 years, carrying not just copper and zinc, but also a legacy of respect and national pride. The year 1998 was part of the so-called Memorial Reverse series, which showed the Lincoln Memorial on the back of the coin. Millions upon millions were struck that year at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and today we are focusing on the Denver mint variety, marked with the letter D. While common at the time, these coins hold secrets that collectors are only now beginning to fully appreciate. Now comes the part that excites every collector, the value. You may think a 1998 D Lincoln cent is just a penny, but in the coin market today, some examples are being sold at staggering prices. Yes, ordinary circulated examples might not bring more than face value, but when we talk about rare conditions, mint state grades, and coins that have survived without wear, the price begins to soar. Current market analysis shows that certain pristine examples of the 1998 D can reach values as high as $779,341. That is not just money, it is life-changing money, hidden inside a coin most people overlook every day. Why does this coin reach such incredible value? The answer lies in condition, rarity, and collector demand. The 1998 D has some varieties that are especially prized. For example, coins with sharp strikes, full luster, and zero contact marks are considered top tier. Grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified a handful of these in near-perfect condition, and that is where the jaw-dropping prices come from. Even tiny differences, such as doubling in the lettering, minor die errors, or an unusual finish, can increase value dramatically, but history adds another layer. Think about the era of 1998. America was heading into a new millennium, technology was rapidly evolving, and yet the penny remained a solid part of everyday commerce. The Denver Mint, famous for high-volume production, pushed out billions of these coins, but among those billions, only a rare few managed to escape the harsh realities of circulation. Imagine the journey of a single coin that remained untouched, resting in a collection or sealed away for decades, only to resurface now when collectors value it beyond imagination. Now let us talk about the market today. Collectors are always chasing stories, rarity, and beauty. The 1998 D Lincoln cent checks all three boxes. Online auctions, coin shows, and private sales have witnessed rising interest. Every year, more and more people begin collecting, and demand pushes values higher. In 2025, we are seeing a surge in young collectors who are fascinated by the idea that a small coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. This demand continues to fuel record-breaking sales. So what should you do if you find a 1998 D Lincoln cent in your change? First, never dismiss it. Carefully inspect it under good light. Look for strong details, sharp edges, and original shine. If it looks perfect, consider submitting it to a grading company. A professional grade can turn a coin from pocket change into a treasure worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a fortune. And here is a tip: do not just search for the 1998 D, search through all your pennies. Some other years like 1992, 1995, 1999, and 2000 also have valuable varieties. But today, our star remains the Liberty 1-cent coin of 1998 from the Denver Mint, a piece of history and wealth rolled into one. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand, realizing that what the world calls just a penny could be your ticket to financial freedom. That is the magic of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, every coin has potential, and sometimes, that potential is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So keep your eyes open, check your jars, your wallets, and your family's old coin boxes. The next treasure might